So a lot of you might be wondering, why on earth am I making a video like this when ARK's been around for like 2 years and it's got a massive player base and everyone's already purchased the game? It doesn't make any sense. Well, this video is not for you. This video is for those players that are going to get attracted to ARK. So why is that? That's because in 1 year the average player base has been down by 10,000 people. That means there's no money coming in. And developers need money, so you can expect sales. So this video is for those new people, and this is the top 10 things you need to know about ARK. And first up is single player. Everybody talks about multiplayer and ARK, but the single player is really solid. You jump into it, it's easy. You can adjust heaps of different levels, the damage levels, the resistance levels, the harvesting levels. You've got heaps of different maps, all the normal maps that you can play multiplayer, you can play single player. Get onto those maps in single player, learn the maps before you jump into that pressurized environment of multiplayer. You can mod it. There are mods for Africa, and you can load them all up into single player. It makes for a really fun game. I do not underestimate it, and spend some time doing it. It's great fun. Next, let's talk about servers. There are heaps of servers in ARK. Lots of options. There's the official servers, and then there's the unofficial servers. What you're looking at here is just the ones with my survivors. That's my avatars on it. I think there's like 20 odd of them. Then you have the official servers. I think I ran up to about 400 here, maybe a bit more. Those are all the different maps, easy to sort through, easy to jump into, and you're good to go. But the real ones you want to look out for, where some of the real fun can be had, are the modded servers, the unofficial ones. And there is an enormous amount of these. I think I ran up to about 2,000 here. These modded servers, they are just great fun. Really something worth looking at. And here's one you won't read about on the ARK official website. Yeah, official PvE is essentially broken. It's been broken for a long time, and that's because of greedy breeders like you see below. They tame so many creatures that they max out the server with tames, and when you jump on, you can't tame anything yourself. So if you're looking for that great multiplayer PvE experience in ARK, you're not going to get it because it's broken, and no one seems to be wanting to fix it. Don't bother with it. Next, let's talk about the maps. This one is the island. It's the original, it's the most well thought out and perhaps well developed, but it's also the most well known because players have been playing on this for years now. If you start on this map, yeah, you're in for a rough time from people who've been around a long time, but it's a damn good map. This one is the center, really, really big. It has a lot of places to jump on and hide, lots of vertical structures, lots of forests. It's a really good map, but it's riddled with bugs. In fact, in my opinion, various areas are virtually unplayable, which is a real shame because it is actually a good map. Scorched Earth. Well, it's been around a while now, and all up, it isn't as popular as it should be. It's a very hard one to jump into and play. The environment will kill you very quickly. That's mostly the heat, by the way. I don't like it. It's not particularly interesting. I think it's just like playing in a desert, essentially. But it's been around for a while. It's pretty well developed, but it's not very popular. And, you know, I think people's fun on this can be pretty varied. Ragnarok. My personal favourite, a big map, recently updated from the time I posted this, has all the different environments. It has the forest, it has the swamps, it has the deserts, it has every piece of all the sorts of different maps put into this. It's really popular because of this, and because of its size, it can hold a lot of players quite well without causing too many difficulties with being too close to each other. And next up is Aberration, of course, the latest DLC map. Very well put together, a really good idea, particularly hard, not for the newbie, and the radiation zones when you get to the advanced levels, you really need to know what you're doing. Personally, I found it a little bit oppressive, a bit enclosing. It wasn't really for me. different? Yes. Really enjoyable? Yeah, my money's out on that one. Now this is a good one to talk about, and that's being a solo player in ARK. I've got a lot of experience in this, and I think a lot of people actually join ARK and buy it as solo players. They might join tribes later on, but they start off as a solo player. But you have to remember it's particularly hard in this game. A lot of people are in tribes, small tribes, and they look to target those easy bases, and as a solo player you've only got so much time. You can only build about what you're seeing here. That means you become a target, and what happens is it becomes a rinse and repeat cycle. You build up to a certain point like this. You're never going to get so big that you can prevent the big raids, and you get raided and you got to start back again. It can be very frustrating. Fun, but frustrating. So as a solo player, it then becomes absolutely essential to have allies, friends on the server. And that is utterly critical for your survival. If you do not have allies on the server or friends, you are toast. And I've jumped around a lot of servers at time, tried new servers, and if you don't have friendly tribes around you, it is not much fun at all. So solo player, yes, frustrating, a rinse and repeat cycle, but with allies and friends, you can last a bit longer. So let's talk about tribe size. In my opinion, the ideal tribe size for the most fun gameplay is around 4 players, give or take. You're never going to be doing massive cross-server raids, but you are going to have a lot of fun on your server. But you do have to work together and be constructive in your gameplay. I find that this size of a tribe, it doesn't get too complicated. It's an easy sort of structure to understand. Everyone knows their place. Yeah, it's definitely what I consider perhaps the most fun part of ARK is doing this size tribe. Now let's talk about time. In ARK you need a lot of time in the game, probably several hours a day. It sucks the life out of you, this game, and people around you will be cranking up hours and creating huge bases. If you can't put in maybe 3 hours a day, I actually almost think don't bother with the game. You need to put time in to make progress. Game stability. Now in the game you'll frequently hear people say, oh, my game just crashed. There is a lot of bugs which will make your game crash in ARK, and down the right hand side here you can see that I'm scrolling through all the fixes for all the different crashes that you can find. It's different to a lot of other games, like a first person shooter. When your game crashes it doesn't really matter that much, but in ARK things take time, tames take time, and you can be in the middle of doing some tame that's taken you hours and your game crashes and you lose everything. ARK players will be familiar with that situation. Now this is such a big one, I've actually given it 2 slots, 9 and 10, and it's server dynamics. When you jump onto a server, what can happen? Well, generally you'll have an alpha tribe on most servers, and that alpha tribe will have a lot of different tribes maybe associated with it, maybe tribes with 3 or 4 people. They'll normally be allied up. There'll be also other players in the tribe, maybe singles, and of course you, represented here as the baby on the server. Now ultimately over time, as you build up, you're going to get visited by either the alpha tribe or one of their allies, and it's that point things start to happen. You need to make friends with these people, try and make friends with them, and so that they don't wipe you. It's pretty straightforward really. The more friends you make, maybe on the little sub-tribes, then eventually maybe you become friends with the alpha tribe, and ultimately that's how you can join a lot of these tribes, becoming friends with them and them having some trust and confidence with you. But it can all change, of course, if you don't have a friendly tribe on the server that you've jumped on. Let's imagine that they are a hostile tribe. That makes things quite different. You often won't find too many tribes associated with them. You'll never get approached, you just get wiped. And there's servers like that around. You jump onto them, think it's going to be fun, and you've got this situation. Not good at all. One of the other situations you often find in ARK is you jump onto a server, and there's an alpha tribe, of course. Now, alpha tribes are not made up of one single cohesive unit. They are made up of multiple individuals. Governments in real time, in real life, have enough trouble trying to keep things in check. What about a bunch of idiotic gamers? It's almost impossible. And then you have all the sub-tribes with all their individual members, and they might all be allied together, but there will be random individuals within those tribes, and they will be causing you grief. So overall, despite the fact that you spend a lot of time trying to keep friends and keep everyone happy, you've still got these randoms within these big tribes. So the only real way is to ally up with them. But the other thing that of course can happen is you don't know what your alpha tribe is doing. Are they a pacifist tribe, or actually are they already doing cross-server raids onto other servers and annoying other alpha tribes? And ultimately, it's always inevitable. Some other alpha tribe comes on to tackle them. And when that happens, everything changes. And the situation that tends to develop is in the process of burning the alpha tribe, they naturally assume that everyone on the tribe is allied or friends with them, and they will burn you as well. So when you jump onto a server, you're at the mercy of what the alpha tribes decide to do. And that's fine, but it's just part of the picture. So I hope you've found this useful, and like you see beneath me here, the Stego's fighting the Spino. If you stick together, then hopefully you can hang around on a server long enough to have a bit of fun. ARK's a great game, has a lot of challenges with it, and thanks for watching. Until next time.